Welcome to Undercity Chaos, you comic comers. Now sit back and enjoy the seergasm of a podcast.
Alright, you guys, welcome to Undercity Chaos, in the mind of the comic comer. Go! I'm your host, MTR, also known as Matt the Rat. And as always,
Rene, I'll never get sick of that. No.
Never. I love it. Today I am donning the mantle of the man bat.
Of the man bat. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I am Juan Uribe today. That is me.
and as always,
Rene?
Juan Uribe,
alright guys,
the man bat.
unfortunately Billy is not with us, but he will be joining us next week. He has very important things to tend to today, so
I just got a text from him, and
Good luck, Billy.
He's doing all right.
He's texting in the middle of his interview right now.
Well,
He's going to have a good recovery.
he said the person that was there to interview him showed up late.
Oh, really?
So he's still waiting. He's still
Which shows how professional they are.
there. That's good. That Billy will fit right
Billy,
in.
yeah.
Perfect. He's got it.
Alright, guys, this week we're going to talk about Commissioner Gordon.
Commish. The
Getting his
commish.
own
Might be
show.
having his own show, yeah.
So sick.
Also, as always, this week's brand new comics.
Yep. And then we'll be doing a review of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, by all means.
S.H.I.E.L.D.
I might even do a review of Dads because I'm watching both of them spontaneously at the same time. That show's freaking hilarious. And then, do we have anything else on the agenda?
We're going to... no, it's not a big topic, but I did see this article about Terry Crewe wanting to be either the Thing or Colossus in
I did see that. So we'll
I
go
thought
ahead.
it was pretty funny, but we'll talk into that.
We'll go ahead and let's jump into it right about meow.
Funk soul brother.
So as always, we haven't seen each other. We skipped last week. I was extremely, extremely sick, and I did not
We're glad
want
you're
to
back.
get anybody else
We're glad you're back.
sick.
Yeah.
But
The show still goes on.
in that time, I actually went to Not Scary Farm,
Yes.
and I did Hollywood Horror Nights.
Were you scared?
Knott's was cool. My favorite maze was Forevermore.
What was the theme?
It was Edgar Allan Poe. And
Evermore. Was it Evermore?
No, it was Forevermore.
Forevermore, really?
Yeah, so it was like basically
Or was it Nevermore?
No, it was Forevermore. And it was my favorite scene through the whole thing is they did a scene from the Pit and the Pendulum. And it's this guy in the water, and you see the pendulum swinging back and forth, and some ladies like scaring you. You have to walk around a silo. So it was really cool. They had a new show called The Exorcism, and in the Mystery Lodge, they did the effects for the Mystery Lodge, and they did like an exorcism and a ghost and like
cool.
stuff. And like it was at the very end, the girl was like, "I want to play with you guys now," and then the doors open, and you see the silhouette of the girl where you normally sit and hear the story tell. Mm-hmm. And then, like, all these monsters, like, run out and scare the crap out of everybody in the
crazy.
audience. I was like, oh, my gosh, I wasn't excited. I thought we had to go into it, so I stood up like, do we have to walk over there? And then they ran out. I was like, holy crap, we don't. It was really cool. I got to do Trapped again this year. This year in Trapped, it's actually themed. So you're trying to escape from an insane asylum. So it's not the same way it was last year. Last year it was like ghost and you have to eat this, and it was just a whole bunch of random scary things. It didn't really have a theme. This year, like I said, it was themed. Yeah. So it was cool. Like right off the bat, they just throw you in a hallway. They're like, good luck. And there's an elevator, and it has 5 lights. And the guy that we're with hits up, and it goes green, the first light. And then he hits up again, and then it goes red. And I was like, oh, it's a jigsaw puzzle, so you have to figure out the pattern. You go in, and then from there, it's just like, it's freaky. If you're claustrophobic, if you're scared of being shocked, if you're scared of elevators, if you're scared of spiders, if you're scared of like being closed in, like walls coming in towards you, don't do it.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't be able to handle that.
But it was really cool. It was fun. Not nearly as good as last year, because last year scared the crap out of me and made me want to say the safe word. This year, it was more like, can I get through this? Can I just push through? So, and it'll be fun. The other one was Hollywood Horror Nights, and that was The Walking Dead maze that took place in the prison. There was so much great detail with Hollywood Horror Nights. It was ridiculous. Got to do El Cucuy. And guess who was doing the narration for the storytelling of El Cucuy?
Voodoo Glow Skulls.
No. Come on, man. Who's probably the most famous Mexican that's out right now?
Edward James Olmos.
I said, I was like, it reminds me of Edward James Olmos. And my friend's like,
Danny
no.
Trejo.
Danny Trejo was doing the narration for El Cucuy. And it was so scary. He was like, your mothers and fathers used to tell you about the stories of El Cucuy. Was it only just a dream, or were they smart enough and knew better?
But what did he do? Just pull on your feet?
No, see, this was the thing, is that they used every story of El Cucuy.
Ah, okay.
And they combined it into this like journey into like, oh, well, some say that he lives up in the hills of Mexico and waits for little children.
Did he say Mexico?
He did say Mexico. And it even had the accent over when you read it, because I was like, Mexico. And my friend's like, no, it has the accent over the E, so you have to say Mexico. I was like, all right, I'm sorry.
Explain the story of El Cucuy for some listeners.
El Cucuy is, if you don't know, El Cucuy is the boogeyman.
It's the Mexican boogeyman.
It's the Mexican boogeyman, but he's worse. Because, like we said, there's like 4 or 5 different renditions of him. One of them is that if you're a disobedient kid, he'll come and he'll take you in the middle of the night if you're not sleeping and you're not listening to your mother. There's another one where he lives in the hills and he comes down and feasts on like little children and just takes them up to the hill. So it's kind of like Jeepers Creepers. There's another one where he... the sleeping one when he's underneath your bed and in your closet.
Yeah.
So he's supposedly the creaking in the night that you hear. So that's why you need to stay asleep through the whole night.
It's all typical like Mexican parents, like just
trying to scare the crap out of their kids.
Out of bed,
what's the other story with the woman with her baby?
That's La Llorona.
Yeah.
So
La Llorona.
La Llorona is the Lady of the Lake. Basically, the husband loved his kids so much that he gave them whatever they wanted, and the wife got jealous and went and drowned her kids in the lake. And then after that, she like died, and now she walks around. If you start crying in the middle of the night, well, she
cries.
She cries in the middle of the night.
She walks around looking for her children, and she's crying.
Yeah.
And that's why you're not supposed to be out past dark.
Yeah, La Llorona.
Yeah,
because La Llorona will get you.
I actually saw this very well done YouTube video by this guy named, his YouTube channel is called Black Box TV. And his YouTube channel is just consistent of like little horror short films. And he did a little take on, I can't pronounce it.
La Llorona.
Yeah, and it was, well, I'll send it to you guys. It's so
La
good.
Llorona.
But so good.
Llorar means
the El
cry.
Cucuy. The El Cucuy maze was actually really good. Oh, man, it was kind of creepy, too, because I want to say they didn't put a lot of detail in it, but they did, like, a really amazing job. There's a part where you see claws underneath the bed. You're in a room, and you see claws underneath the bed, and then, like, the cucuy comes out of the closet and scares you, and you're like, oh, all right, the scare's over. Then the floor starts getting knocked, and then you see the claws go up and down and, like, freaking strobe lights from underneath the bed. So there was no holes barred there. It was really good.
I love it.
I suggest doing it, but if you do, either get the front of the line pass or get there as soon as they open and run to that Walking Dead maze, because 2.5 hours was not worth my time waiting in it. And that's technically how Hollywood Horror Nights is. Like, the lines are just ridiculous for the mazes. But nonetheless, really cool. Got to ride Transformers. I have to say, probably one of the best rides I've ever been on.
Did they make it scary, or was it just regular?
They didn't make it scary, but it was like, let's just say this. You remember Backdraft?
Yeah.
Were you scared of Backdraft when you went into it?
No.
You remember the Back to the Future ride? It was all right. It was very out of date. The Jurassic Park ride literally went around a corner, went up a hill, dropped back down, and that's it.
Yeah.
This was the first time they've like really tried hard to make
a ride.
Like a ride, and I'm not gonna lie, they did a fabulous freaking job.
I have not been to Universal in so long.
It's $85 if you guys want to go, and I think it's either a no. But
I will not be going to Universal.
No. But trip out. It's $85, but you get a year free when you do it. And I actually think they upped it to 18 months.
Ah.
So that means like on a random Sunday, you want to go out, you want to do something, at least you do that. And it's one-time fee. It's not like how it is at Disney.
Oh, yeah.
You throw down $100 and they're like, what do you want your annual pass? Well, it's going to be $25 a month. So really cool, awesome. Highly suggest going to do those things. I still have yet to do Blackout. And
did you do the tour? Did you go see King Kong and all that stuff?
Well, they don't do the tour
during
Haunt.
Okay, because it's nighttime. That makes sense.
Yeah. So what they do is they let you walk up to the Psycho house.
Here comes El Cucuy.
How you doing?
What's up,
buddy?
El Cucuy?
They let you walk up to the they let you walk up to the Bates Hotel, and then from there you walk up to the Psycho house. And there was a photo opportunity, but I was like, no, you know what? Like, as much as I love the Psycho house, I didn't want to wait in line and waste any time because I know the way it is there. But oh man, every time I walk by that house, it scares the crap out of me. Honestly, one of my favorite movies is Psycho.
Psycho,
and I got to see Hitchcock, which was the making of Psycho.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah.
And it was, oh man, it was amazing.
I heard he was really good. I did not see that.
I think one of the best parts in it is when Hitchcock, Alfred Hitchcock is famous for the Hitchcock blonde.
Yes.
He always does blondes in his movies.
Does a blonde, yeah.
So at the very end of the movie with his wife, I think his wife is like a redhead or something like that, and he goes, you're the only Hitchcock blonde for me. And then she goes, I've been waiting 30 years for you to say that. And he goes, and that's why I'm the master of suspense. And I was like, dude, that was such a great line.
They did a really good, HBO did a really good movie right before that Hitchcock movie came out. It was the guy who played, he was Red Skull's little henchman I can't think of his name. He's a famous character.
Mist.
Yeah.
He
played Hitchcock, and it was called Hitchcock and the Girl, and it's all about how he hired Tippi Hedren to work on the birds, and then when she kind of turned down his advances because she was the blonde, not only did he mess with her like on the movie set, like he really messed with her, like put her in situations where she could get really hurt. He also like messed with her career afterwards, like just gave her like
the blacklist.
Yeah, he basically like made it so that she would never like really work again. That's Melanie Griffith's mom in real life, but in real life. But yeah, check it out. I think it's called Hitchcock and the Girl, and it's about the making of the movie The Birds. It's really cool. Check it out.
A little unknown thing that most people don't know: Psycho actually has 3 parts. There's Psycho 1, Psycho 2, and Psycho 3. And Psycho 3, who is? I know one of you guys will know. There's no way you guys can't. Who is the bride of Chucky?
Jennifer Tilly?
Her mother is in the 3rd Psycho.
Oh, really?
And I thought it was Jennifer Tilly, but it's her mother at a very young age, and she actually falls in love with Mr. Bates. Oh. And he comes out and he's like, look, your mother's dead, this, and that. And she actually ends up taking up the persona of the mother at the very end of it.
That's funny because Jamie Lee Curtis's mom was in the first Psycho. She played the one that died. Yeah, the one that
was she?
In the shower. Yeah, that was Jamie Lee Curtis's mom.
Yeah, it's funny too.
Like, Janet Leigh. Yeah. She was married to Tony Curtis. Mm-hmm. Tony Curtis.
I didn't know this, but did you know that Alfred Hitchcock actually produced did the cut of the movies?
Oh,
he did all of them. I didn't. He
was on a tour. He did. Well, he wouldn't write them, but he did a lot of. He did do all the editing and stuff. Yeah, I'm sorry. The HBO movie is called The Girl. The Girl. Oh, it's just called The Girl, and it is Toby Jones is who I couldn't think. Okay. And Sienna Miller plays Tippi Hedren. So check it out. It's really cool, and you just go, "Wow, what a dick!"
Honestly, it was the funny thing is they addressed the same thing in Hitchcock. The girl that played in the movie before that, it was like something South, or I don't know what it was. But
North by Northwest?
Yes, North by Northwest. And the woman that played in it...
Eva Marie Saint.
No, wait, was she in that, or was she in Vertigo?
Who?
Was that the same woman from Vertigo?
The girl from Vertigo is... it's Eva Marie Saint, yeah. No, wait, Vertigo is... Vertigo is here, I'll pull it. I can't think of her name.
So I forgot who one of them is. The second girl in Psycho, the sister, and I guess there was like bad blood between them. But he had her under contract, so she had to do a movie with him. And they address like why do you have it out for her so bad? Like why do you hate her? And of course she's one of the Hitchcock blondes. And what happened was she got pregnant, and I think she got pregnant and couldn't do Vertigo.
Kim Novak is who it is.
She either got pregnant and couldn't do Vertigo, or she got pregnant and couldn't do a movie. And because she wanted her family, she wanted all that. And he was like so furious with it, like he almost refused to like work with her. And it got to the point where he would give her a hard time and be like, he wouldn't just dress her, but he would be like, you have to wear these undergarments too. Like, it got to the point where he just fully freaking controlled her.
He was crazy.
He would... Well, he's Alfred Hitchcock. You'd be crazy, too.
But if the whole thing about Vertigo, if you look at it, it's really creepy, super creepy, because it's about a person who she dies, and then he's obsessed with making another woman. He falls in love with someone else. He's like, you have to be just like this woman. Yeah. So it's like Hitchcock was playing out his own life. Yeah,
that's what he does. It's kind of like he puts his own little life into it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, it's the same with Psycho. I didn't even know. Did you know that Psycho was an actual book?
I think the book came after. I think Robert.
No, the book came before.
I think Robert. Oh, maybe it will. We'll look it up right now.
The book came before, and it was about
Block,
this guy. It was originally about this. Originally, I don't know why it wasn't a movie. Obviously, it was about a guy that like killed his like brother.
Some dude.
And because he's helping out his mom constantly, and he's like, mom's dead, blah blah blah, and like we can't help her, this and that, and like he just ends up killing him and just like burying him, and he's so obsessed with his mom that he does end up digging up her grave and like bringing her back and like trying to pretend that she's still there. Yeah. So it was loosely based on that. He obviously made it very theatrical, switched it out, put the whole detective and everything in there. But I do like that it's like two complete strangers that just so happen to cross paths. But I think that's the genius behind Psycho.
I think you're right. It was based. Robert Bloch wrote it, and it was based. It was written in 1959. The movie came out in 1960. But the awesome thing about that movie is the reason that movie, like the shower scene, obviously, but the reason that movie was so awesome is that your main character dies 45 minutes into the movie. Yeah. Like, spoiler alert. I mean, I'm sorry guys, but you're following this girl and you're like, wow, this movie's going to be about this girl.
Yeah.
Oh, surprise, she's dead. And it's like 45 minutes in.
This is what they said is that they, when they wanted to release it on NBC, it was supposed to be a 2-hour special. And they were like, all right, we'll cut it in half. So if you notice when you watch the movie, they go to the chief of the police's house, and they go, they saw his mother, and he goes, you're telling me that the detective saw Norman Bates's mother in the window. Well, I'm sorry to inform you, Missy, that your detective is wrong. Mrs. Bates has been dead for 10 years now. And if you notice, it goes black. It goes like, done, and then it goes black. And then it continues the movie. That's because that's where they split it, and that's where it ended. So it made you want to watch it the next day. Or like the next week, whenever it aired. So it was a trip the way, man. There's so many beautiful things about the movie. And I didn't know that nothing has amounted to Psycho. No matter of Birds, Vertigo, anything like that, just has nothing's been able to top Psycho.
No.
What did you think of the remake?
Oh, I didn't like the remake because actually
I liked it because it was frame for frame for me.
No, but
why do that?
But that's the thing that that's what the problem was with the studio or with the people that made the original one. They said this movie is exactly like the original that they did. It was exactly like it, and they didn't like that, so they sued them for that. So. I think it was just all legal things. People got sensitive about it. I personally didn't really care for the remake because it was exactly like it. There was no new Trey, anything new in it. It was just kind of like you expected what to expect.
Is it kind of like, but then again, would you rather see the new Friday the 13th or would you rather see the original Friday the 13th?
I'd rather watch the original.
I think that's why they stepped into it that way because it's like a perfect example. They've been talking about trying to remake probably the greatest movie of all time. They've been talking about trying to redo Gone with the Wind.
I hate that movie.
That movie's boring.
But you have to admit though, it was the highest grossing movie.
Adjusted for inflation, it is supposed to be. Supposedly, it is still the highest grossing movie. If you adjust for inflation, it's still like no movie has topped it. Mm-hmm. Titanic, nothing.
Yeah.
Like that's how many people went to see that movie way back in the
until
30s.
the Justice League movie comes out.
Yes. That's right.
But it's such a movie that's high up there. There's not one person that may have not seen it but does know Gone with the Wind.
I mean, it's a movie that you have to watch just because for the sheer idea that this is like 1939 and that you're making like this epic movie.
Technically, the greatest cinematic movie at that time. The only thing closest to that was Wizard of Oz.
You want to hear?
It's like one of those things you have to.
Do you want to hear the tragedy of Wizard of Oz?
What?
The tragedy of Gone with the Wind. Part of the reason I hate it. For the scene where they're burning Atlanta and they're trying to escape the city, and there's that fire going on in the background. Part of what they burned down, they took down. They took the wall from King Kong. Mm-hmm. They took that whole set
and they burned it
and lit it on fire.
No,
that sucks.
No wonder you have such a grudge against it.
I know, like screw you, Gone with the Wind.
You could have saved that set for me.
Yeah,
I would have kept it.
I would have kept it.
I would have played in my backyard. But
isn't that funny? Like Gone with the Wind is basically like King Kong. Like King Kong for a lot of people. Like for guys like George Lucas, George Lucas and Spielberg and stuff like that, they all cite that as like a huge influence.
We're having technical difficulties.
Stop for a second.
All right.
Okay, we're going to pause. We'll be right back, everybody.
Damn, I wish I had the music that you had. And we're back.
Hi, everybody.
Wow.
So what I was saying was...
Oh, dude, it started cracking again. Don't hit the table.
So what I said was that Kong is like ground zero for like, Spielberg.
Action movies, I'd say.
Lucas.
Sci-fi movies.
Oh, yeah. One of my all-time favorites. And so it's really
I thought Godzilla was.
Like burning... I mean, well, that's... I mean, no King Kong, no Godzilla, basically.
All right.
But... yeah, and then they just burn the set, we're going to light this on fire, Did
they do it like the Lonely Islands? I burned it to the ground. Don't want to be a part of your system.
There's a band called the Lonely Islands.
Yeah,
it's Adam Sandberg.
No,
Andy Samberg. Yeah,
Andy Samberg.
Do you know what the Lonely Islands is a reference to? Right?
No.
Do you know what it is?
The Lone Ranger.
It's the Chronicles of Narnia. It's from and he did the whole thing with the Chronicles of Narnia. They have the Lonely Islands. It's from the what's the one they just did? The Voyage of the Dawn Treader.
Nice. All right, let's go ahead. Let's jump into Gotham.
Oh yeah.
So what the TV show is actually going to be about is damn step. Blah, 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 blah. I was hoping it went really staticky a lot. Basically,
yes.
What it is Detective Gordon going into first time he ever sees the precinct of Gotham and how he eventually becomes commissioner. So the cool thing is that we're not going to have we're not going to have the Joker, we're not going to have anybody post Batman, but we're going to have all the people per. So that means we have to have the Falcone family. We have to have the Maroni family. We have to have, technically Penguin was around, so we could have Copperpot. We could have, who else can we have?
We could have...
Technically, if they kind of wanted to go down sci-fi, I think we could have Killer Croc, can't we?
Yeah, because, maybe legends, like urban, like maybe hints now and then.
Like Anarchy or something?
Kind of like that. Maybe, or then I see more like...
Ventriloquist. I think Ventriloquist would be an amazing one.
Ventriloquist is another good one as well, too. Maybe we'll see, even villains before they were even original villains, like Clayface. We'll see him as the actor. We'll see him as the actor.
That'd be cool.
Or we'll see
What's
maybe
his name?
the Red Hood gang.
I don't know. There's two Clayfaces.
Boris Karloff?
Isn't there two Clayfaces?
Or Carlo?
Yeah, there's two Clayfaces.
What? Carlo?
Boris Karloff?
No, but his name is basically
Yeah, it's basically
it's a play on Boris Karloff. Carlo Boroff or something like that.
Yeah.
It's just reversed?
It's just basically, yeah.
That's awesome. Well, what can you think of? Well, who's probably the really famous actor? Well, Humphrey Bogart. Let's just switch it around and call him Bogart Humphrey. All right, sounds good. You guys put it in the books right now.
We were just talking about, not to sidetrack, we keep talking about old movies. We always sidetrack.
Yeah.
But you ever notice, I noticed at the fair, they always do those Boulevard of Broken Dreams painting, and it's always like, it's supposed to look like Edward Hopper, like an Edward Hopper painting, and they'll have like people in a diner, and it'll be like James Dean, and it'll be Marilyn Monroe. Monroe. It's all these people that died young. They always throw Bogart in there. Okay, Bogart, when he died, was like, oh yeah, he got cancer. He died when he was 60s. Yeah. But he was married to Lauren Bacall, who was like half his age and hot. Like it turned out okay for Bogart, guys. Like
he didn't really have a tragic death.
Yeah, they'll have like young Elvis. Like young Elvis did okay.
It was old Elvis with the deep fried peanut butter and banana sandwiches.
Exactly. That's the one you show that. Basil. It's Basil Karlo. Basil Karlo. What's his name? So back to Clayface. I like this idea though. I like the idea of like a
darker version of like not Law and Order, but
well, I think
it has to be like, what's a really good police show?
Well, I always
S.H.I.E.L.D.
The S.H.I.E.L.D. or The Wire or make it as I always tell people
Castle?
Like what worked with the reason The Dark Knight works so well out of all the Batman movies is that it's basically a really good crime movie.
It is, yeah.
That Batman happens to be in. Like it's not. They didn't make they made a really good movie, and then put the characters into that movie. They built the world around, and then
I could agree with you.
Maybe and then maybe like around maybe mid-season or maybe even season finale. Maybe like we'll get to see like maybe Gordon try but not like or fail. And like not find out who killed Bruce Wayne's parents. Like he'll be on the scene. We'll see like Bruce Wayne and a young kid.
You could, that'd be cool if they start off at that, and then from there it's just Gotham.
I wonder where they're going to place it as far as
the timeline.
Or what era will it take place? Will it be like a modern show? Will it take place
will it be modern?
I didn't think about that at all.
Will you do it like I think what works for the animated series that you can't pull off because it's too expensive?
Yeah,
Danny Elfman.
Well, that too, but no. But I feel like the animated series took place in this world that was kind of 40s, but also kind of modern. It was like there was like a weird
Zeppelins.
Yeah, it was
Zeppelins.
It was almost like a noir punk. You had to give it like a name.
And like everyone was like a Chicago thug.
Yeah.
Like
I was just
Tommy guns.
You know, it's funny. I went to see The Wizard of Oz. I took my daughter to see The Wizard of Oz in IMAX, and I was struck by watching that movie how everybody in that movie has like a Brooklyn accent,
right? Yeah.
Like I want a hot. Like I'm gonna ask the wizard for a hot. Like. It's like no hot. Why are these farmhands all from Brooklyn? How did you end up in like Dust Bowl, Kansas?
I know. How did you get to Kansas? Like, did the tornado really take you that far?
Yeah, they're all in Dust Bowl, Kansas. Everybody's got a Brooklyn accent. Yeah, love it. Sorry, but everybody.
Yeah,
everybody's got a little New York. Like it's always like
water.
So who was saying that? Was it you that said like in anime, like whenever there's like a germ or something, like a cartoon germ, it always has to be like Ray or like a cartoon bug. It's always got to be like a Brooklyn accent. What are you guys doing here? There you go.
No, I think my favorite, just to hit that little bug subject, my favorite bug is, you seen the movie A Bug's Life?
Of course.
Yeah. Hey, don't look at the light. I can't help it. It's so beautiful. And it falls into the thing. That is like my favorite part, and I don't know why. Right when he talked about bugs with accents, I was like, does he have a hair accent? And, I mean, you could change it, but it'd be...
Still my favorite Pixar movie, man. I feel like that's the strongest.
And from up here, you all look like little tiny ants.
My favorite part is when
he goes, hey, turn your butt off.
No, it's funny. Is when those flies are just talking to the ladybug.
The ladybug?
And then automatically hear Dennis Leary's
the ladybug
voice.
automatically makes me a girl. Oh my gosh. she's
funny.
a guy.
That's so funny. Out of all the like voiceovers you could do, they picked Dennis Leary to do the ladybug. I was like,
no way to talk to a lady. I heard that.
I love that scene where they do the wall of death or the web of death.
oh yeah, no. Lady, yeah.
And after
Fired.
after it accidentally lights up the fire, after it burns the flea, you hear one of the flies go, burn him again.
Yeah, burn him again.
Does anybody know what movie that is a remake of? That is a remake of another famous movie.
Really?
Very famous movie.
I believe no, nothing.
It's a remake of The Seven Samurai, if you believe it or not. If you ever see The Seven Samurai, it's about a group of villagers who the bandits come and raid and take their food. Mm-hmm. So they hire samurai to protect the village.
And they're not really samurai?
Yeah,
I thought it was more of a remake of The Three Amigos.
No, the Three Amigos is a takeoff on Seven Samurai. And then they remade it as a Western called The Magnificent Seven. So go watch the Seven Samurai, kids. It's pretty awesome.
Westerns. I don't care too much for Westerns. Some of them are really good.
You will like Westerns as you get older. That's
actually, yeah, I was going to say, I watched Tombstone recently. Wow.
That is a great one.
Going back into Gotham.
Hell is coming. When are we going to Tombstone comic? Why aren't there a lot of Western comics?
Because they don't sell. That's why we don't have All-Star Western anymore.
They used to, though.
Is All-Star Western even around?
I think Billy gets it.
Yeah, Billy gets it.
All right.
It's around. It's just not. It hasn't come out with anything.
Are there any Western characters in comics aside from like?
Yeah, they did a Django
original
and
Western characters.
That would be a good comic book. Is there a comic book?
Yeah, they did it on the original script.
Nice.
So everything that like Quentin Tarantino had to pull out, they put in there.
That's awesome.
It was a
Aliens was
6 one. Yes,
Cowboys and Aliens. Because that was a comic book originally.
Oh, it was?
Yeah. Other than that, that's
I'm sorry. I slept like 2 hours last night, but I'm pumped. I have full of Coke Zero, and I'm ready to
Which
rock.
has like no caffeine or calories
No, it has
in
caffeine.
it. Oh, does it have caffeine?
It's just 0 calories, 0.
All right.
Yeah.
Lots of
So
cancer.
here's the real question: why doesn't your Marvel have westerns? Maybe you should write to him and be like, "I need a western."
They had a
bro."
guy called the Two Gun Kid, I think, and
Yeah.
he was like the original Marvel, like back in the day. What's his name? I think he turned up in like the Avengers or something, and they kind of brought him back recently as a joke. And they made mention of him in like one of the, it might have been in Hawkeye or something. They made mention. There was a Wild Bill. He was a helicopter pilot in G.I. Joe.
That's about it.
That's about it.
That's about it.
So basically, subject on this is we need more Western.
We need more samurai comics.
More samurai.
You have a
There's
samurai
so
comic,
many
dude. You
samurai
have
comics, dude.
you have The Walking Dead, Michonne.
Yeah, Michonne, man.
Cha 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 cha. All right.
Like Dark Horse does so many samurai comics.
Does Dark Horse do
I don't think
Samurai Jack?
I don't think Ninja Turtles counts.
No, dude, that's IDW.
What about Afro Samurai?
Huh? Afro Samurai? No, like lately they've been coming out with like little like
What
3
about
issues.
Black Dynamite?
Like 3 issues samurai issues. I don't know. Like they're like weird ones, like Raku or something. I don't know. It's something weird.
Doing the titty shake right now. But Gotham, I think would be cool. The only thing I really like about Gotham is if they bring the Zeppelin in. I swear they have to. But it's a
Led
great
Zeppelin?
No, it's a great idea. And you know what the cool thing is? You don't need some stupid fancy, like big old title or any like long title credit or anything. Do it like how they have Arrow and just have like how they wrote Batman back in the day, how it's like really skinny font and it's kind of long.
Yeah.
Just Gotham and it just zooms out and then
I like
starts.
it. You can pretty much have every character. You can even have Bruce Wayne's family in there.
See, that's what he was. That's what Rene was mentioning earlier. Not on the show, but we were talking about. He'd be like, "That's cool if like." You could be like, hey, Bruce Wayne is back in town, and like that's how it's eventually going to hit the Batman.
And
era.
Fox it's going to air on Fox.
It's going to air on Fox. I'm surprised about that. I thought it would be on Warner Brothers CW because they do own DC, but I don't know how Fox got the rights.
Well, Warner Brothers probably going to produce it. It'll probably be shot at Warner, and then they just
they do that all the time.
It'll be on Fox, yeah. Because there's all kinds of shows that are shot on other. Sound stages, and they show up on another network. It's just like CBS owns the. But like what'll happen is when it's on DVD or whatever, you'll see the Warner and all that all over it. It's just,
Probably, the rights.
But man, that's cool. That's a good idea for a show because you can mime that. There's a show. It's a cop show. It just happens to take place in
Ralph Garman hates the idea.
Why?
He just says it's stupid. But then again, he's like, if you have the alternate choice between Ben Affleck as Batman or no Batman at all, he's like, I guess I would choose no Batman at all.
Really, he doesn't like.
He doesn't like the whole Ben Affleck.
Batman?
Yeah, he doesn't like Batfleck. But of course, Kevin Smith is like, Ben Affleck could pay.
Well, because he worked with Ben. I mean, like, he's friends with him, so
he's not even friends with him anymore. They don't even talk.
So,
why?
Dude, he's like off doing other things.
Ben Affleck has his family and whatnot. Didn't he have like 3 kids now?
I think so, yeah.
He has 3 kids. He made
still has
Argo.
to-
He has no time for Kevin Smith, and he just did Runner.
Oh, yeah, that movie with Justin Timberlake. With
Yes,
the other guy I like.
I actually kind of want to see that movie just because I like Ben Affleck and I really like Justin Timberlake as an actor. In Time was a great sci-fi movie. I don't care what anybody says. It was such a genius idea of literally putting in time is money. And that's like kind of a scary thought if you basically had to pay everything with your life, man. Which technically you do if you do any drugs or drinking or you're a thrill seeker or whatever, your time gets reduced, to a huge extent. But I thought it was a great idea. I think Gotham will be cool, but like you said, I wanted to go back.
Yeah.
I do not want it modern. I want it like maybe 20 years ago or whatever. I don't even know. How long does it take for you to become a commissioner?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, it took Gordon, like, I think...
In the comic book mythos?
If anything, like, it took him longer than a decade, I think. Because it took him a while to become from a policeman to a detective for a little while. Or it could have been a couple of years that, the Bureau finally saw him that he's like, or the police station was like, oh, okay, this guy...
Well, he's an old man.
Yeah, he could be...
And
potentially become a good detective.
And then maybe we could see him if he touched in and was actually corrupted at the beginning. Because technically, in year 1, he cheats on his wife.
Yeah. Well,
he cheats on his wife with his partner.
Gordon's not really like the white knight. He's not technically like a wonder
a human
boy.
being.
He's a human being. He has
needs.
But then he finally, but essentially, he is a good guy. He goes down what we all go through.
He has a good heart.
He does.
Did you end up watching Bat Dad last time we talked? Or did we talk about Bat Dad?
We did, where he dressed up and like he'd go to parties and whatnot.
Did you see Black Bat Dad?
No.
It's so funny.
No.
This guy. Yeah. And he calls this like he yells at his son. He's like, "Go do your homework," and then he calls him "you little N-word." He goes like that. I was like, "What?"
Wait, does he say "you little N-word" or does he say the N-word?
He says the word. He says the N-word.
So if you guys don't know the N-word, no, I'm joking. That I definitely have to see that. Let's go ahead. Let's go into this week's brand.
Go, Rene. Take it.
Comics. Take it away, Rene.
So this week we got Abe Sapien, Avengers, Adventure Time, Candy Capers, Afterlife with Archie, America's Got Powers, Archie and Armstrong, Astonishing X-Men, Astro City, Avengers Arena.
Wait, before we continue this, hold on.
Really? You gonna like?
Wait. Mic check.
Mic check. Okay. Batgirl, Batman Arkham Unhinged, Batman Little Gotham, Batman Trade Volume 2, Bushdulo, Captain America, Chew, Coffin Hill, Constantine, Danger Girl Trinity, Dark Tower Gunslinger, Deadpool, Dexter, Alpha Quest, Internal Warrior, Federal Bureau of Physics, Fearless Defenders, Forever Evil Arkham War, Grim Fairy Tales, Ghostbusters, Ghosted, Green Lantern Corp, Halo Initiation, I Vampire, Infinity, Judge Dredd, Katana, Lazarus Trade Paperback, Magic the Gathering Theros, Manhattan Projects, Mars Attacks Judge Dredd, Marvel's Universe, Hulk's Agents of Smash, Memory Collectors, Miniature Jesus, Multiple Warheads, Downfall One Shot, My Little Pony Trade Paperback, Nightwing, Red Sonja, Resident Alien, Suicide Blonde, Rocket Girl, Screwed, Shaolin Cowboy, Sidekick, Smallville, Star Wars, Sons of Anarchy, Stormwatch, Suicide Squad, Superboy, Superman, Wonder Woman, Thanos Rising, Thor God of Thunder, Thor God of Thunder Premium Hardcover, 3 Ultimate Comics X-Men Uncanny X-Force, Walking Dead number 150th Anniversary Edition, Walking Dead novel, and then Walking Dead Tyrese Special, Wolverine, World's Finest, X, and X-Men. And that concludes this week's new comics.
Jeez, about time, man. I was like,
Hey,
do I gotta say it again?
dude, last month I had to read a whole bunch because it was freaking Villains Month, and I hate that so much.
Yeah, dude, I still hate Villains Month.
I know, I kind of hate DC a little more for that, but I mean, I'm
so happy we're past it, dude. Like, driving through that range was it was hard, man. I didn't even read most of them.
Me neither. You know what? I kind of dropped a couple of titles because of it, if anything. I dropped Flash. I dropped Green Lantern. I'm still going to read Nightwing because I love Nightwing. I'm actually going to pick up Batman because I saw that some person didn't come and then they left a couple of single issues of 0 Year. So I have all the issues of 0 Year.
0 Year.
And then,
so good.
I know. And then I saw this week's is basically that he's going to put on the cow. So I'm like, oh.
I don't even know why I turned you up all the way. Sorry about that. Let's go ahead. Let's get into
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. At first I was not excited at all. I didn't care.
Yeah.
You obviously did because you are a huge Firefly fan.
Yeah, I love Firefly. Yeah, it's something. If you don't know, then shame of you. That Josh Whedon is the director of the show and
he did Firefly
and co-creator. So he did Firefly. He did.
What's the movie again?
Avengers, Serenity, and then he did. He also wrote a lot of episodes. And I think he produced 2. Was Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
He was created in Buffy the Vampire Slayer for the show.
For the show, yeah.
And then he did Firefly,
which is amazing.
Go ahead. You guys talk. What are we talking about?
We're talking about
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
But we're talking about Josh Whedon though right now.
My man.
Yes, that he knows what people want. He knows what the nerd world, because he's a nerd himself. So he knows what everyone wants to see, and yet he has this good way of just like when you watch stuff, he has a good way of throwing hints that you kind of have to go back and see. Or like you see them, but then you're like, oh, okay.
You know what else I like is not trying to be mean towards him, but he does this weird thing with the camera, at least for the TV shows. You know, the TV shows obviously not as high as anything in a movie, so it's not as good as quality. But he almost does this I feel like I could be a director too. Like, perfect example, with the most recent episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. If you haven't seen it, we're going into it, so giant spoilers. There's a hole in the side of the plane, and they open the raft, and the raft sucks into it. And it's not a special cool camera angle or anything. It's just literally like it's right in front of the hole. The raft just comes in and hits it. No special angles, nothing crazy, no special effects. It's just like, let's just open up a raft and just pull it straight. So it makes me feel like not only is this guy a nerd, but he also can accommodate to the common man. See, and if you've ever seen any interviews with him, he's not some cocky jerk off.
No, he's not.
He is like the nicest, sweetest guy. Unlike us on Undercity Chaos, because we like to attack each other constantly.
Yeah, we like to show off. We like to tell each other off.
And yet Sue lets us record here. That was great. We should record. Well, that should be our intro, or whenever somebody says something about us, we should have Sue recorded on that and just be like, "You guys are a bunch of dicks." Is it not true?
Literally.
But I did and you are right. He leaves this nice little cliffhanger. If you watch the pilot episode, I think it's like a 049 or something like that. They say a code. And then she's like, what does that mean? And he's like, well, you have 10 minutes to decide if you want to find out or not. And then they fly off in the car. And then you find out that was the code that they used for Thor.
Yeah.
They're like, well, last time we had that, a hammer winded up on Earth. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. And I love that they keep hinting back to the actual Avengers.
Yeah, it's when you watch it, it's not a closed world. It's more open to the universe of Marvel and the movies, to the movie specifically. They constantly throw that, Stark. They say Stark. They say Captain America.
I like how they don't say Iron Man. And they even say, they're like, well, if she's a consultant, and they're like, well, technically Tony Stark is a consultant for the Avengers. So I was like, oh, that's freaking cool.
And they constantly, they talk about Black Widow.
Let's break down the show now.
Yeah.
First episode, appearing Luke Cage.
Which was interesting for an origin of Luke Cage.
Was that Luke Cage?
That was supposed to be Luke Cage.
Because his name wasn't. They didn't give him the name.
No, yeah, I think what they're gonna do is that they're gonna change.
They're gonna give him a code name.
Yeah, then like his new identity, I think, would be Luke Cage. And then I don't know.
I did really like that first episode. You find out that he has. So explain the original origin of him briefly, and then explain what happened in the show.
That's the thing. Like, I don't really know about Power Man, or AKA Luke Cage.
Was he just naturally strong, or like gamma rays?
I don't know. That's the thing.
Can we get a little research on that?
I'm doing it right now.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
His powers is he's super strong, and his skin is indestructible.
Yeah. So does that mean, like, has he ever taken on the Hulk?
What was his name? Do you remember his name on the show?
Oh, no, I don't remember.
Wasn't it something with the A?
I think so.
Because she swipes his ID.
Yeah.
So with the show, basically, you find out Luke Cage is extremely strong. And apparently
Born Carl Lucas, legally changed to Luke Cage.
Okay.
There you go. And he has his son, and he's trying to provide for his son because his wife left him, and all this other stuff. And he goes back to his boss, and he's like, I'm stronger now, I'm better now. And some lady was working on something. It was called Caterpillar, and what you saw
Centipede.
You're right. So there was a giant centipede in his arm, and it like gave him the power to do stuff. And then if he gets angry or something, or like his emotions get too out of hand, he'll basically be a giant bomb and just explode, just like the guy per him when he's had happened. And you find that later on in the episode.
Yeah, it was it was cool because they threw in, because it was it was parts of the formula of Extremis and parts of the formula for the super soldier.
Yes,
that was both, and then it had like radiation, which was gamma radiation.
Yes.
So, what?
He was created. He was in an accident that involved the super soldier process.
Okay.
And he was left unattended. Another guy who was kind of like, because Luke Cage was in prison, and they were experimenting on him, and then someone who was like, he had like an arch enemy in prison, and he tried to kill him by screwing around with the controls while like Lucas was like strapped in. So it ended up with Luke Cage, ended up giving him Lucas' treatment is accelerated past its intended limits, including body-wide enhancements that give him superhuman strength and durability. He uses his new powers to escape prison, makes his way to New York, where a chance encounter with criminals inspires him to use his new powers for profit. Adopting the alias Luke Cage and donning a distinctive costume, he launches a career as a hero for hire, helping anyone who can meet his price.
Which kind of is the situation for this, because he's broke, he has no money, and that's all he's trying to do is like try to get money to support his son. So, of course, the team that they have now for the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. end up stopping him and being able to make sure he doesn't blow up. So that was really cool. And then obviously it goes into the code. It goes into the next episode, and now we're messing with something with the Tesseract.
They're doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
The Tesseract in this one is it's not the Tesseract, but it is Tesseract technology.
It was from the 1940s. They said that it was.
Yes, it was placed.
From the Nazis.
It was placed in this like Aztec temple or some sort of temple in Southern America or somewhere around there, And they end up getting screwed over.
That have hot soldiers.
Yes, of course they had the hot Mexican girl, the hot like Spanish woman that apparently slept with Coulson.
They never, yeah.
They don't address it, but they hint towards it a lot. And they end up like being bad guys and whatnot. And you find out at the very end of the episode that the person they hired for to be their consultant is still working for the, I guess we could say, activist group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't know if she's going to stay good or maybe go back and be bad.
I hope she takes some acting lessons soon. That's all I hope.
You know what? Overall, I love the whole show. It has never had me sitting there like, gosh, dude, I just don't care. The whole thing, like, I'm sitting there and I want to see the next episode. Unlike, some of the other TV shows that you watch, sometimes I love Arrow, but sometimes Arrow's extreme dialogue, nothing new from the DC universe. Of course, the Marvel universe is kind of like sporadic here, sporadic there, and you have like little bits and pieces of action. So this is the perfect combination of not only dialogue and being able to set up stuff, but being able to keep you on your toes and stick with action. At least 3 or 4 action sequences throughout an hour episode, which is amazing. Technically 45 minutes.
Apparently that's not supposed to be Luke Cage. They're saying that is not Luke Cage because Marvel just got the rights to do a Luke Cage movie, so they don't want to put him on a TV show. So they're saying that is not Luke Cage.
Oh, okay.
But, Rene, what do you think of the show?
I really enjoy the show. I think it's really good because especially what Josh Whedon's doing, especially with the character of Coulson, that apparently S.H.I.E.L.D's keeping a secret from him from when he was recovering after the New York after New York. That for some reason he thought he was in Tahiti, but they're keeping something. Was it when Hill was talking to the doctor, and then they said, "So did you like Tahiti?" He goes, "Yeah, I really liked it." But then I got bored, and he walks away. And then the doctor's like, "So he still thinks about Tahiti?" He goes, and then Hill's like, "Yep." He goes, "So are we ever going to tell him?" She goes, "Nope, he's never going to find out." And so, I don't know. It seems like S.H.I.E.L.D's keeping a secret from Coulson. Something that's it seems important, when you watch it. It's like, where's it going to go? And especially because, also, was it the new recruit they got, the hacker girl? Mm-hmm. She's keeping something, too.
How did you feel? Oh, yeah, because she's like, where? How did you feel about seeing the girl from How I Met Your Mother in S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I actually like her. I'm glad
because I was surprised. I was surprised because isn't that show still going or is it over?
It's going to end this year. It's the last season is this one.
That's probably why she's only doing like little cameos so far.
So I'm glad she has a show to fall back on. And then I really like it how they have Samuel Jackson in the end of the second.
Yeah, episode. I was really surprised that he turned up. I was like, what? So good for them. I am not. I'm still waiting. It's a little cheesy sometimes for me. It's a little corny. Like Sue and I were just talking about, but I think it has potential, and I think that you're also having to do a show that's very different for Joss Whedon because kids are going to want to watch the show.
Yeah.
Because it's it's a Marvel show and stuff like that. So you can't really get too.
You can't do it like how because you can tell Firefly was mostly
more for adults. Yeah, so there's some cheesy stuff in there, but
I'll give it. It's on ABC, so I mean, I expect it to be like not groundbreaking.
Yeah, I'm surprised because you can tell, in spite of what Matt was saying, you can tell they do throw money at it. Like it's not a cheap show to produce. There's some money behind it. So and hopefully the bigger it gets. I mean, there's always room for quality comic book stuff on TV. So
I know, yeah. There's there has to be more comic book TV shows other than cartoons.
Oh, Cartoon Network. What are you going to do for? Are you going to Stan Lee's Kamikaze? Not to get off topic, but
I've been thinking about it. A lot of people tell me that I should go. I've been thinking about it. I'm like, maybe. It's next month, right? November?
I believe it's in November. I'm following it on Twitter. I think it's like 3 weeks away, maybe 3 weeks, something like that. It would be my first comic convention if I went, but
to Kamikaze.
Mm-hmm. Are you going?
I am going to be going. You guys will be able to see if you do go to Kamikaze. myself, I don't know who else is going, but I will be taking Undercity Chaos to Kamikaze. Not only that, Undercity Chaos will also be at the Long Beach Horror and Comic Con convention. So you can see us at both those. Of course, I will be interviewing as many people as possible. I do want to go to Kamikaze and interview somebody that's famous for Star Trek, but more in my heart, famous for reading Rainbow. Do you know who that is? I'm not going to lie, I might be talking about reading Rainbow more than Star Trek. Oh, yeah, Weird Al Yankovic is going to be there. I could kind of care less, but at the same time, it's kind of cool because I'll go up to him and be like, I'm not white and nerdy. But our very last subject is Terry Crews trying to take on the Thing.
Yeah. I thought that was like really funny because it was just happened on an interview about comic book characters, and he was like, you know what? I think I would be a good Thing, or you know what? Like I would love to play Colossus. You know, either one of those. You know, like I think
he'd be a better Colossus.
That's the thing. Like they already cast Colossus though.
Did they?
Yeah, it's
in the new X-Men movie.
It's like the same guy in the third one, I think.
Ah, man, dude, ditch everything from the past, other than obviously Wolverine. But of course, like they can't let go of Hugh Jackman because he's the executive producer. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you could try, but he'd be like, "Screw you! I forget." You want Patrick Stewart as Colossus? No. Yeah, they did. They did bring back Patrick Stewart as Professor X, and who's
Ian
the
McKellen.
other guy? As Magneto. So I guess that'll be pretty cool. I guess to see them back in it.
Yeah.
They're bringing back Halle Berry too. Yeah, they are bringing back Halle Berry. I do remember.
They're bringing back Ellen Page as Shadowcat. And
nice. I actually thought, for some odd reason, in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. with in episode 2, I thought it was Black Panther because it looked like a little paw print on the machine, and I was like, oh, okay, it's Black Panther. It has to be. I was like, or maybe it's not, and of course they didn't address it.
Well,
so I was like,
South America, weren't they?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
where's Black Panther from?
I thought it was in Africa.
He's from Wakanda.
Oh, okay.
It's just a mythical African country.
Okay.
I know he was not happy that Submariner jacked that country up in A versus X. He was not happy about that. So now he and Storm are divorced.
He wasn't having it.
He and Storm are divorced now.
And Wolverine's getting that Storm now.
Oh, yeah. Well, they should have. You know what? Black Panther should have. I don't know. Why doesn't Black Panther have his own movie? That's all I'm asking.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. This is the old school Star Trek.
Yeah, this is the awesome one.
This is the Wrath of Khan.
Khan!
This is. It's coming through now, Khan.
But do you think.
I think, honestly, to be completely blunt, Terry Crews would be amazing in the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
One of the few guys that anything he does
he should be Luke
is
Cage.
funny. Oh, dude, that would be a good Luke Cage. But then again, you'd have to explain how he got a messed up lip. He was like, oh, that was before the super serum. I'm sorry. But other than that, he is... Why are you taking pictures of me right now? He's so full of it. He's filming video.
Yeah.
Gosh, I hate when he does this.
I'm not taking any pictures. Don't.
Look at that. Bastard.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's all good. He's just... Oh, dude, his performance in The Longest Yard is probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, yeah.
Cheeseburger Eddie.
Cheeseburger Eddie. Oh, God.
I got these cheeseburgers, man. Nothing a quarter pounder can't fix. Oh, did that? Yeah, always protect the McNuggets. See, dude, honestly, even in Everybody Hates Chris, I thought he was hilarious.
Oh, it was funny.
And he was
the cheap dad.
Yeah. You know how many food stamps you can get with that? Like, oh, it's ridiculous. And even
my favorite. No, hold on. Like my favorite episode is the Halloween episode when he goes get candy, and then the candy names that he comes back with. He comes back with Knickers, N&N's.
None of them are like name brand stuff.
It's all Knickers, N&N's, like Wix. And then he comes back with what was another one? It was and then like it's funny because when the wife sees these, Oh, butter thumbs. That's
Butter thumbs.
Butter thumbs. So when the wife goes, you know what? Takes it all back, goes it and gets like real candy. He's like, and then the wife goes out and he's like literally open up little candy, cutting it up, putting it into little baggies.
Oh, that's
like,
shady.
Yeah, he's
like
cutting the candy.
A third of a bar.
Yeah, basically. and then so the wife goes, "What are you doing? This is too much expensive candy to give out to one kid."
That's awesome.
I was laughing.
Towards the end, it was pretty funny. If you know Chris Rock's stand-up comedy, like he talks about how he gets his like next job, and it's at like Red Lobster, and it's the skit where he's like, man, you get put in the back, and you're like, I'm gonna work hard, man. I'm gonna work hard and not look at the time, and time's gonna go by so fast. So scrub. He's like, man, I've been working hard for like 4 hours now. I'm not gonna look at the time. I'm gonna continue scrub. And he's like, all right, I've been working hard. I'm sweating. I'm gonna look at the time. Damn it, 15 fucking minutes.
Yep.
And he's like, man, if you don't know, you think there's ugly people at the front of Red Lobster. There's uglier fools in the back. Trust me on that. I was one of them.
Fucking Red Lobster. I love your bread, though. What?
I like the crab cakes they have.
I ain't never been to Red Lobster.
Don't go.
I like it.
It's all right.
Well, I never had a lobster. I've always wanted to try it.
What?
Yeah. Dude, we should take them to Ensenada.
We're taking to Puerto Nuevo.
Where like a lobster is like $10 and you're like, this is like 50 over in America. Hell yeah.
Become a man.
We'll make you drink Coronas till you puke. Hook you up with the Mexico special.
Do you know what the difference between a gay Mexican and a straight Mexican is?
Oh shit, I really
a
didn't.
6-pack of Corona. But seriously. We can't say that joke.
You already said it. What do you want me to do?
We can say that joke because we're Mexican. If anybody else says that joke, and we're also gay. Anybody else says that joke.
Wait. What's his wee business?
Well, one of us is. I'm not going to say who. I will say this. Not me. But that doesn't mean.
Is it like the whole how do you start a Mexican riot?
Are they how?
Throw a quarter down the street. How do you find the richest man in Mexico?
How?
Find the guy that found the quarter.
I love it. How do you do we talk about this last time? So we know Batwoman, and we know Green Lantern. There's no other gay characters in.
No.
Yeah, Bunker. We talked about Bunker. Bunker's gay. He's in Teen Titans.
Titans, yeah. Was it Morningstar? Is it Morning? No, it's a Moonstar in North Star. Yeah, sorry. Thank you, Toasty. North Star in X-Men is gay.
How would we do an Avengers series where the Avengers, like Captain America, just gets the Avengers together and they just go slap people that are like giving gay people a hard time? Just like, oh, you can't get married here? Slap like that. That would be a great.
So Wolverine would get the biggest beat down because I don't know why, he just seems like he'd be like, "You're gay, don't associate with you," and just walks away and you're just like, "You're an asshole."
I don't think Wolverine would care. I don't think Wolverine
so?
would care.
All right, who would care most in the Marvel universe? Power round.
Who would? Yeah.
Who cared?
No,
who cared? Hold on, we got to do the power
true,
round
but
music.
He's also about freedom. He's also about. I feel like he
Starting
might
the
be
power round
morally
music, I don't even
conflicted.
care.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, is this wait?
Yeah, this is power round.
I love power round music. I love it. Shh, don't nobody talk for like 5 minutes.
Shut up. In the DC universe, I have a feeling that like either I have to say it, Batman. I'm sorry. I feel like Batman would have a problem with it.
I don't feel like Batman would care.
No, I don't think
No,
Batman
I feel
would
like
care.
he would. Because he's so like...
Superman, maybe.
He's-
Superman's kind of square. He'd have the same problem that Jacob brought up with Captain America, just old-fashioned, kind of like...
See, but that's why I feel like Batman. Because Batman's black and white with everything.
Oh, I know who would hate gay people in the Marvel Universe. Freaking J. Jonah Jameson is probably the most homophobic.
God, that dick.
You know who I
What
feel
a
would be
dick.
extremely open with it and like...
Spider-Man would be totally
Oh,
cool.
yeah. Spider-Man. DC, I feel like the Joker would be like, "Oh, you guys do that in your spare time? That's awesome!
yes.
Have at it!
Yeah, he would like.
Let me
he would-
film it, but wait, before
he
you
would
do
invite
that,
it.
here's some Joker gas. Have some fun."
He would invite it. Who would be seriously like?
I think Arsenal would be okay with it in the DC universe. I think Arsenal would be like, "You guys You guys party with each other? That is awesome. I might have to
Thor
join
is
in.
down with it. Look at those locks. He's gorgeous. Well, if you think about it, the only people that have time to be at the gym that much are gay guys. They always work. They work so hard on the way. So all superheroes are inherently probably
somewhat batting for them. We don't have any fat superheroes.
Yeah, there's no fat superheroes.
There's not even like chubby either.
No.
Well, the Thing.
No.
He's made of rock technically. So.
Who would be? Yeah, who would be a homophobe? Well, I think the X-Men would be the most open to just because they're different.
Yeah.
I think the
most opposed to anybody being treated.
I think the all-girl X-Men are all with each other secretly behind closed doors.
Listen, we don't bring our fantasies into.
I'm not saying it's a fantasy.
Into the power round. The power round is no place for your fantasy.
What constant? Ooh, maybe. I can imagine Constantine because Constantine hates everything.
I could see Deadpool not caring. Tony Stark definitely.
I could see
caring.
Deadpool rooting for it.
Yeah, I don't.
No, he doesn't.
I don't think. You know who else would hate the gays? The Russian dudes from Hawkeye would definitely be those dicks. They would definitely be homophobic. Bro, get away from me, bro.
All right. And then to end it right now, I have to say that you are right. Batman won't be a homophobe, and neither can Superman because they have the biggest bromance of all.
That is true. They would just be in denial.
All right, guys, let's send it off with a couple of comments that we read this week.
How did we get that off?
That power round? You started talking about like gays for random. Oh, you talked about a conversation we had last week on who's gay.
Oh yeah.
In comic books.
That was good. I like that power round. Came out of nowhere.
Did you see that coming?
Yeah. Don't be a bully.
I really
kids.
like. I got to read Detective Comics. Detective Comics just concluded with Wrath, but it seems like something bigger is going to happen. I'm actually looking forward to this week because issue 115 of The Walking Dead is going to drop, and it's the all-out war, and I've been waiting for this for a while.
And now it's time for the war.
You'll have to keep me posted on how that's going.
And not only that, but The Walking Dead this Sunday. Hell to the mother trucking. Yes, I'm so freaking excited for it. Of course, we're going to be breaking down The Walking Dead like we normally do every single week when it is in. So, looking forward to those conversations of that. We'll try to make them short and sweet. I know sometimes we go into like 30-minute conversations with our first subject, but we just get really excited about it. That's the way we are. Hopefully we get to go ahead and head on into Podbean, which is where we'll be releasing Earthing from Rat House Production, so you'll be able to hear us through iTunes. Sorry, it has taken a while, but you gotta understand it's coming out of my pocket. So, what comics did you read?
Go.
Oh, wait. Scarlet Spider. Scarlet Spider's going amazing, man. Not even freaking funny. It is so freaking great. I love Scarlet Spider.
How do you feel about Scarlet Spider?
I like Scarlet Spider, actually. I'm actually going to pick it up after it tied in with Superior.
Jacob's giving me the finger over there.
And then I mentioned Craven, and guess who just happened to come back?
Craven.
It was Craven. It was Craven in the Ben Reilly
Craven.
costume.
Are you craving some Raven?
Craven some Raven.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
I think it's Craven.
I think it's Craven. I like to believe it's Craven. By the way, I haven't seen my Crowe comic come out at all. There's supposed to be one more issue to conclude it.
What about the Wake?
IDW's been putting stuff on hold for a bit.
Have they?
Government shutdown, buddy.
Oh gosh,
it's affecting
comics.
It's affecting comic books.
Anything else, Rene, that you read?
I read Forever Evil #2. It was really good, actually, especially where it ended. Did you read it?
I did not.
Oh, dude, so good.
I'll go ahead and I'll make sure to jump on that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hint what happens, but it's been really interesting, especially after what happened in issue 1. It's so good, and then it suggests to read like Arkham War from Forever Evil.
No, thank you.
I'm kind of like iffy about it. It's a 7 limited issue. I don't know. I mean, I might just read Batman. just to see where it's gonna go, and then keep reading Forever Evil. But Forever Evil seems really interesting, and it's really good, so I like it.
And then 20th Century Man.
You know what? I'm trying to get caught up on everything, man. I'm so far behind on a lot of stuff, and I know it's bad because I'm still in the middle of American Vampire. I'm still trying to get caught up on the Avengers. Now we do have some Avengers news because Rene, you told me last week that Avengers is going to reboot at issue 24.
So technically, it's number one.
Marvel's gonna redo. It's gonna be like an all new Marvel now. They said.
Why?
It's kind of like what It's kind of like what they did with the Superman series back in the '90s, when the death of Superman. It may have been issue like 2 or like 400 something, but it has a square around it, and then it has like a 1. So technically, it's like issue 1.
That's irritating.
Yeah, it's sorry, bud. Marvel is jumping on the bandwagon.
They're doing the DC. They're following the DC route right down the toilet bowl.
Yeah.
But hey, man, it happens. But you know what? I'm excited.
I love it. Hey, you know what? It happens, man.
It happens, bro.
I'm enjoying all the comics. Obviously, that is why we do Undercity Chaos in the mind of the comic comer every single week. Once again, I am MTR, also known as Math Rat, and as always,
Rene.
20th Century Man.
And unfortunately, Billy's not here, but he should be here next week. You guys go ahead and add us on Instagram, all that good stuff. I apparently have to end the show.